paper magic will survive like the heat death of the universe, and will...
Oh, it's a smuggler's copter. Would you like to crew this? And then it crashes because they don't understand arithmetic.
All your cards belong to me.
2 minutes into macing him in the eyeballs, I switched to pepper spray. He's like, yeah, it's all right, refreshing. And went back to the mace.
Magic is dying. I'm done. Selling everything.
I might be a hoarder. And yes,
I don't have the crayons or glue to explain this to you right now.
What, are you gonna die twice?
Oil will be worthless before magic cards will.
well, okay, Dr. Man.
That's Mr. Dr. Professor Jason.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Brainstorm Brewery. And I have to say, in my head, I've done a lot of iterations of this intro. A lot of it's really been an adventure that I've been on.
How expressive have they been over the years?
Yeah, I mean, and I have to express to you that it is hard, really, really difficult to come up with an intro that soundly integrates expressive iteration and a white plume adventurer. I did pretty well till we got to the plume part, but just like in Legacy, those cards are banned from an effective intro. So instead you got this. Welcome to Brainstorm Brewery, everybody, and welcome to the new world of Legacy, where you are not allowed to play 2-mana sorceries that don't do anything to the board.
Isn't that demonic tutor?
Clickbait.
Isn't demonic tutor also in that category, Corbin?
The thing about expressive iteration is you play it for 2 mana. You never play it on turn 2. It's a 3-drop. It draws you 2 cards, and then you put it back on top with Mystic Sanctuary. You do it again, and then you daze their spell, return your Mystic Sanctuary, and you play your Mystic Sanctuary again. You do it again, and your opponent can never beat you unless they're doing the same thing.
I thought you would have some thoughts on Legacy Cast.
Hey, can we
glad we did.
Can we do a real quick segment where we all dunk on Corbin by naming a 2-mana sorcery that doesn't do anything to the board, and then when we can't come up with one for 30 seconds, we have to stop. Okay, ready?
You got
Tainted Pact.
1 mana?
No.
Time Walk. Time Walk does nothing to the board.
Explore.
Explore does do something. No.
If Explore does something
it puts
to the board,
2 lands into play.
Also, Time Walk
careful.
does as well. Time Walk untaps your...
No, Explore has it on the text box.
Life from the Loam, trash card.
Other cards I've seen play Legacy recently, Mulch and Winding Way.
Those don't do it.
Okay, Corbin, we'll let you off the hook. Diabolic intent. So, I guess what I'm saying is, Chain of Smog, not the best indictment of that card. Sylvan's crying. So, I did that because you said I didn't. You said I didn't have any Night's Whisper. So
you'll run out.
I do think it's interesting that Corbin has been a very big advocate, I guess is the best word, or maybe like arguer that Wizards will always ban the engine. Wizards will always, like, when a deck becomes problematic, when it's new card plus old card, they will always nuke old card that made new card broken instead of, like, new card that is just sort of symptom, not the disease. They did not go after Ancient Tomb or Mox Diamond or City of Traders. They went after the cards.
Yeah, I hear you, but Legacy doesn't play by the same rules, and we all know.
Also, I think that rule hasn't been true for a pretty long time.
Maybe. I mean, I don't know when the last time.
In modern, it was true for a long, in my opinion, for a long time, with the one exception where they didn't ban Hogak or whatever. They banned something else, except where there's like the new card exception where they're not going to ban something from the latest set.
Yeah, when Hogak was selling boxes, they sure didn't want to ban Hogak. When people
we've
still
seen that
were in a position
right?
to cancel their pre-orders.
What is the pop? I don't actually have the answer ready, so somebody's gonna have to look up the answer while I ask this question. What is the order that they banned dredge cards in before it was Hogak? Because I know it was like what, Grave Troll.
It was Grave Troll. Grave Troll again.
Troll. Yeah, they unbanned Grave Troll. Remember?
It was Grave Troll again. And then it was Bridge from Below, and then it was Hogak and Looting together.
It was Bridge from Below that died. Bridge died for Hogak's sins.
Is Altar legal in Legacy or in Modern? Is Altar Dimension legal?
Absolutely.
Oh, today I learned.
Yeah, they it's just really funny in retrospect that they unbanned Brave Troll probably right around the time they banned Nicatl.
Well,
it's very strange. Well, they banned Nicatl after the first PT, so.
They were on a roll of unbanning cards.
No, Cass, it wasn't. It wasn't after the first PT.
They banned Nicatl and Green Sun, Ponder, Preordain. That whole.
No, that was the
no.
Blazing Shoal was the first one.
Yeah, for PT Philly did not have the Nakatl ban came later.
That's just it was after the first PT. I played in the first PT. I know Nakatl was in it.
Yeah, but like it didn't get banned until like a year later.
I don't think so.
And then they re-unbanned it?
They unbanned it. Yeah, they didn't ban it twice.
They eventually unbanned it.
Yeah, it started unbanned. They banned it very soon after the first PT. I'm pretty sure, and then let's all go to Google.
Did they think everyone was just going to play Domain Zoo?
Well,
Yeah, basically.
I mean,
Carl's
that
banned in December
They said that
2011.
it was restricting. If I recall, it was restricting diversity or something.
It was the Ren and 6 / Fury problem where you weren't allowed to play one toughest creatures or two toughest creatures, where like you just, which is weird that both of those other cards are still legal, but I'm not a modern expert. I just sell the
Okay,
cards.
Nakatl was
read
banned in
them.
December
3 months.
2011.
The PT was early September. It was like a 3-month period where it was legal.
Oh wow! I would if you're right. Then I thought it was much longer than that.
Is there anything on the modern ban list that can come off?
Yeah, basically all of it.
What? Wow.
Strongly disagree.
Jeez. Yeah, but like, weren't people saying, "Man, you'll regret it if you unban Bitter Blossom," and then they didn't? It's sort of like, yeah, it's
Oh, Bitter
Yeah, but,
Blossom,
like-
Bloodbraid, Jace, like
Yeah.
there's
The
Don't be
artifact lands
sorry.
are close. The artifact lands I think are pretty close, but like,
I think the artifact lands are fine to come
do you
off.
really want Hammer to have Ancient Den? No. Like Birthing Pod is absolutely not safe.
that makes me sad, but I know.
oh yeah, Pod would.
With
Rite of
Yawgmoth in
Flame.
the format?
Rite of Flame is fine. Second
No.
Sunrise is fine. Seething Sun.
Absolutely not.
Yes,
Absolutely
Force of
not.
Negation exists now.
I'm hearing a lot of
doesn't
no's from you
matter.
Oh my
guys. Are there any
God.
yeses?
I think it does.
I'm hearing
I'm
a lot of
looking.
no's.
I'm looking. Wow.
So non-force of negation decks scoop.
Because everyone has opinions on this. Bridge can come off. Looting can come off.
Looting cannot
Yeah,
come off.
listen to this podcast at your LGS and then pause it at this point and then just argue. And then walk out of the LGS.
Yeah, just
Start an
Hypergenesis
argument and
can come
leave.
off. Hypergenesis can come off.
just fart in an elevator and then walk out.
Moxo Bull can
Hey
come off.
Corbin, when was the last time you played a match of Modern where you didn't play Merfolk?
Oh, why did you have to put a condition
Because
on
playing
it?
Merfolk's
Why did
kind
you?
of-
Why did you have to? I was so ready for that question, and then you.
I know.
I literally don't have an answer.
Playing Merfolk's like bringing your tricycle to a motorcycle show.
I did so well my last tournament.
That's
Got
fine.
good fundamentals.
Splinter, here we go. Splinter Twin can come off.
I popped a wheelie in high school. I stole the ball from Blake Griffin. We all know you peaked, okay?
Eye of Ugin can come off.
Great googly
Okay, Corbin's just
moogly.
clickbaiting. I will segue cleanly into a different topic. SCG Charlotte was this weekend. We sold
Turn.
3 7th edition. Corbin will be happy to hear this. We sold 3 7th edition foil Lord of Atlantis to the same person. 4 actually.
Ooh, that's hot.
We
Was
sold
that person Nikachu?
3 or 4. There's a big difference between 3 and 4. When you said you sold 3 to somebody, I got itchy.
Well, okay, so there were 3 in the case, and we had a 4th that we bought that to.
3 in the case makes.
Somebody bought a singleton. I don't know. I can't answer why.
Because listen,
They're
you
demanding that,
create a chore for yourself. Because it's like I will not be happy until I have the 4th one. So it's I overpay online or I wait until the next GP to be able to sleep comfortably. No, I don't know.
I did go a long time with 3 full art mutavaults and not a fourth, and it was. I just told myself it was better to play. 3
Where are they now?
mutavaults instead of 4? Hey, I still have them. They're about 4 feet away from me, buddy.
Oh, I thought they got wet.
They're
Not
Merfolk.
yet.
They were.
Not
There's
yet.
still time. Why isn't this podcast sponsored by Red Bull? That's what I
They
want to
were
know. If we can get-
Merfolk, and they were fine. And Red Bull would be a great sponsor.
I agree. I
We
would
should
stop
reach out to
drinking
them.
Other energy drinks and start drinking Red Bull for enough money.
Oh, so
They're
you know
the
what we need
best
to do?
energy drink.
First we need to start a grassroots campaign of our listeners to like tweet Red Bull memes at us, but also tag Red Bull, and then we'll look real popular.
That sounds grassroots as fuck. Where we tell
Yeah,
people to do
that's
it.
what we're gonna do.
Very
We're
grassroots.
gonna tweet memes about this dumb idiot pouring Red Bull on his magical cards, and not just any magical cards. Parallel Lives is bunches of them, and we're gonna meme on Corbin now. So make your Red Bull memes and tweet them at Corbin and tag Red Bull. This is
I'll
part
send,
one of our 3-part strategy to become sponsored by Red Bull.
I'll
This
send
is
a collector
gonna-
boost to the
This is going to work.
I think Skullclamp's fine to unban.
Ooh, no, there's a
Back
I'll
on
fight.
this,
I'll
okay.
fight for that one too.
I agree with you.
Okay.
Hammer
Corbin,
would
you
not
agree
Skullclamp.
because he-
Broken. Why
Corbin,
is Hypergenesis banned, but people get to play Rhinos? Come on.
Okay, is it played in non-hammer decks though? Like, does it
No.
does it create something? Okay.
If it makes elves busted, great. If it makes goblins busted, great. Like it.
I don't know what
Sure.
happened to the format, but I played against Hammer in the last big tournament I played twice. And my opponents played Stoneforge, and then they had Cauldron Complete. And Merfolk for a very long time could never beat Stoneforge. I'd see that card and then I would just scoop because I'd never beat a Batter Skull. Now they don't even play Batter Skull because it's not good enough. And somehow Cauldron Complete wasn't very good against me either. Modern can handle all of it. It's fine.
The format does not.
So you want
revolve
that
around
deck
the
to have
Ancient
Skull
Vile deck.
Clamp also, is what you're saying.
They wouldn't even play it.
Skull Clamp.
I would if they unbanned
That
Skull
costs
Clamp.
so
I'd
much mana. Like,
Pure Steel Paladin, baby.
they don't have a stream of 1/1s to sacrifice. Like, I don't get it.
Also true. What if we play some Skrelv's Hive, Stoneforge, Skullclamp?
And we're got an
Now you gotta
engine by
brew.
turn 5. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's
in
an
a
unbeatable
format
engine
of
by turn 5.
Turn 1 Rhinos. Like, come on.
They're not turn-1ing rhinos. Shut up.
Turn 2, don't be absurd.
We are once we unban Simian Spirit Guide.
Well, it's not turn 2, it's their second upkeep after your first turn, but still. It's not turn 1.
I'm mad
that was
I
a
brought
good.
this
That was a
up.
good impassion. We don't get to talk about Modern very often. That
People
was
don't
fun.
think we know how to play Magic, and I
really
do
don't.
not.
They're right.
So let's Cass. What do you think this does for Legacy, to Legacy, like on an overall level here?
My first thought when I saw this was that the biggest winner was Elvish Reclaimer. The green decks just kind of had this problem where they couldn't beat Delver no matter how many grindy things they played, just because they could iteration over and over again, and also they couldn't beat the initiative decks because they were Swords to Plowshares Solitude decks. So, Elves, Fiend Artisan Elves, Green-White Depths, those are big winners in my eyes. Potentially combo, although I imagine Delver players are going to start playing a bunch of like cheeky Stifles and Spell Pierces over their iterations, which is bad for now.
Oh man, Stifle again. Legacy always comes back to 2000.
But do you understand how good a Stifle feels, though?
I get it. It does. I play Nimble Obstructionist in a lot of decks because of how good it feels.
Stifle was the card for me that unlocked Magic, because I was like, why do I see this in so many sideboards? I was like, what are you even countering? And then I would watch people stifle. I was like, wait, could you stifle modular? Could you stifle like a fetch land? And then it I don't know. It made me think like, I don't know. It unlocked how to think about Magic for me personally. Maybe that sounds dumb because I've been playing for like 6 years at that point. But like,
I think it's a very well designed Magic card.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things in Legacy that happen with cards, like honestly with Stifle and things like Daze, where you get into these weird situations that you get to learn edge cases. Like I had a thing come up at an event one time where I actually missed it on camera, where I could have wastelanded my opponent's fetch land in response to their spell, and in response to them cracking the fetch land, I could have dazed their spell and they wouldn't have mana for it.
Ooh.
Like you get to pick up on cool things like that when you play with these efficient answer cards in Legacy.
Yeah.
That's why it rocks. Legacy's great, and it's getting better because of this ban.
Well, the adventure decks were extremely frustrating, in my opinion. I hate mechanics that you can't interact with. I going back to Imminence and Commander. I think it was terrible. And then they decided that we needed Commander mechanics in Legacy in case people playing the Cosmo or whatever the weird Planeswalker is. Boo? Minx and Boo?
Minsk and Boo. Yeah.
Minsk and Boo.
If Minx and Boo wasn't, non-traditional Magic enough for you, how about some adventuring through the dungeon?
I have bad news for you, Corbin. I think the adventure decks are not going anywhere.
Well, hopefully it'll be slightly more fair.
I think having a 3-mana option that you could play on turn 1 with a Soul Land and a Chrome Mox was pretty scary. So I imagine we'll see multicolor decks because they don't have enough in one color. And slightly more, slightly slower versions.
Have you guys seen any price movement on that card?
Which
No.
card?
White Plume was an export card. You'd like ship it to Japan or Europe. And it was
I was
very,
thinking
very
that because
expensive over
like
there.
they're fine in EDH. They're actually played in way more decks than I thought they would be.
It was like 10K, right? I saw the tweet about it today.
Yeah, and for a card that new, 10K is pretty good. But apparently, according to MTG Data Science, follow his series on EDH Rec and follow his tweets. He tweets really interesting stuff. He was saying that like there was a graph of the deck submitted to EDH Rec per month, and it was just like it was flat starting around 2016 when you were getting like just decks directly, and then all of a sudden it's like 20,000 decks a month now. And I that graph it was the exponential translation of the more smooth curve of just the popularity of Commander increasing. You could really see it in that data because it was exponential because we went from like 2 sources to 5 sources. So all of a sudden 5 sources are getting decks 5 times as fast as they used to. All of a sudden, you were getting 2,000 decks a year. Now you're getting 2,000 decks a week. And it was really crazy to watch. So why did I bring that up? I don't know. But
That's dope.
yeah, it is dope. Check out MTG Data Science. I think it's MTG_DS. Or just check out how I'm always retweeting his interesting stuff. EDH, it has been ridiculous these past 10 years. So,
You know what else is an interesting price with a graph? Is my Breaking Bulk pick.
ooh,
Breaking bulk time. Breaking bulk time. Break.
Oh, yeah, Breaking Bulk. There's so much good stuff.
It's a pick. Breaking bulk. The end.
I have one that I don't think anybody will guess. I'll be pretty impressed if they do. It is an Avacyn Restored green uncommon. No other printings.
That's the Miracle set.
Correct.
Yeah.
There is the miracle.
Is it a
that puts
creature?
4+1/+1 counters on something, but I don't
It is
think that's
I'm
it.
trying to
Not
remember what that one's called. Cass.
Bountiful Growth or something like that. I don't know.
Something like that.
Hamlet Captain?
That's an Innistrad proper.
Oh, that's Innistrad.
So hold up. It's not the Miracle one.
It is not a miracle.
Is it that werewolf?
Yeah,
It
it's
is-
the
the-
Flash Regenerator.
No, the
Flash Regenerator was.
Wolfir
good.
I can
Silverheart. Or no, that's the Wolfir Silverheart's the big one.
That's the
Wolfir
rare.
Avenger. It's Wolfir Avenger. Yeah.
It's not that.
Is it? Oh.
It's not that. It's the other. It's the flip werewolf.
It is not. It is not that either. It's not even a creature.
Oh, it's no, that's a common abundant growth or whatever the enchantment.
Abundant Growth is
Abundant
a common.
Growth
It's
is
not that either.
common.
Okay.
Is it dense foliage? Not dense foliage.
Oh, there's a fog in that set, isn't there?
Jason, if you tell me the effect of the card, you might have it. You're onto something, I think.
Something like if they target your creature, you draw a card or something like
Shaper's Sanctuary is Ixalan.
It's a rare.
that. So no, that's never mind. I actually don't know. Is it because that was rare? The Lost in the Woods or whatever.
Lost in the Woods is a Dark Ascension rare.
I said dense foliage. Okay, just go ahead and tell me the card. I'm sure I
It
got
does have dense foliage on the card. The card is called Bower Passage.
Oh, Bowers
Bower-
Passage.
Bower Passage.
Yeah,
Bower
but-
Passage.
cool.
Skewer
I
me
thought
for the
Bowers
pronunciation.
Passage. Oh my god, I'm
This
so.
could be
I
my
thought
next
Bowers
scores,
Passage was
whatever.
in Shadowmoor.
That card rocks. That card's very cool.
It has dense foliage on it. It is a 1 and a green enchantment. Creatures with flying cannot block creatures you control.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
just all their flyers just lose the ability to block, and it's like 50 cents. You can direct them for $1. That's what I usually do. The card just has no other printings and is just generically powerful. It doesn't have the multiplayer buff design that it would if it was printed today. If the card is printed in 2023, it would say creatures without flying your opponent's control cannot block. So then you could get the whole like bedlam effect of other people attacking other players. You can't do that. It's just when you attack them. But that's just good enough. And this is one of those cards that I think just sees play when people build decks with a budget constraint. It is just good enough. And
Or if you're
it's
just sick of dying to dragon decks.
that's my next point, is that this card is an arms race card. It is the card you buy on TCG Player when you lose to a problem and you want to solve a problem.
You're bitter about Bitter Blossom.
Yeah, this is a card where it's like I lost a thing, Google a thing, or like see a budget commander YouTuber deck play the thing, and just Avacyn Restored, no reprints, no mystery booster, no list, no, not even a pre-con. It's just 2011. That's when this card was printed.
Mercadia's Downfall is the next one of those. Dana Roach keeps
2012,
trying to
whatever.
make that a thing.
That card's insane. That card is very, very powerful.
I know, but nobody plays it.
I have a breaking bulk of the week. Actually, it's a little two for action.
Breaking bulk of the week.
You did this last week. I don't think you understand the rules of the game.
Well,
Mix the two sound bites together.
It's both a card that is good to pick out of your bulk, and it is a card that I think has potential.
Cool.
So it's a double whammy. It is a Commander Legends Baldur's Gate, the set that Jason has a hard on for. It's a green rare.
Is it the background?
Is this the bulk rare initiative card that makes 6 mana?
Yeah, it's not like a hard one to guess,
Yeah.
but the card is it's a 4 mana 3/4 ETB. You take the initiative. It has vigilance and it taps for green. And if you've completed a dungeon, it taps for 6 green. Green white initiative is probably like the first place the deck's gonna go. We saw what happened to the other initiative creatures when the deck popped off and people needed them. And this card's like 50 cents to $1 on TCG Player. You probably find them in some of your bulk if you bought boxes of the set or if you've been buying bulk rares. I found like 8 of them in a box of bulk rares today.
What was the card? What's it called?
Under Mountain Adventurer.
Oh, I did not know that one.
I also
It's a 350 card set that, like, the second it was all spoiled, they started spoilers for the next set. So, like,
it's really easy to miss.
I'm not surprised you honestly, they could have gotten 6 months of goodwill out of Baldur's Gate.
There's also... Oh, sorry.
They hear you, Jason.
No, they don't.
They hear you.
I've heard you with this exact rant before a lot.
Oh.
They've all
Did DJ have to hear a rant? Did you have to hear a full-size rant from a grown adult? Is that what you're
Not
mad?
a rant on Brainstorm Brewery. We would never have any of those. By the way, go ahead.
One other big thing working for Under Mountain Adventure is that it is coming to Magic Online this week. It and Raven Loft Adventurer, I think is what it's called. It's the black 4 mana rare. They're both being added to Moto this week as confirmed in a reply to an Andrea Mangucci tweet, I believe.
Okay.
So them showing up on Moto means they might start seeing play in decks, which means that there's just way more eyes on the cards than there would be otherwise.
Yeah, I didn't know they existed. That set, yeah, Jason's right. That set just completely passed me by.
It was the best set they made that year, no contest.
All right, who's up next?
In terms of EDH impact, we're going to be finding new cards in that set a year from now.
Yeah, seems that way. All right, I'll jump in here. I have a blue uncommon from Dragons of Tarkir.
That's I have blue cards.
Silumgar's Scorn, the counterspell?
No.
Was Stubborn Denial cons or dragons?
Cons.
That was cons. There was a counterspell in Dragons though, wasn't there?
There was the dragon counterspell. It was like a force spike, but if you revealed or controlled a dragon.
Oh yeah. What was that called?
That was
Silumgar's
Cast
Scorn.
just said
Oh,
it.
that was Silumgar's Scorn. Great. Okay.
Dragons blue is the unblockable Megamorph guy Gunno Lurker or something? Or is that common?
It's Goldo Lurker.
Oh, yeah.
Baby Murktide.
It's a salamander.
Baby Murktide.
$1.
Creatures that are hard to block, especially in blue and black, are just... It almost doesn't matter how many times they print them. It's just always going to be at least a dime.
Those are other problem solver cards. My breaking bulk for this week was almost one that people would have gotten mad at me for, I think. Cloak of Mists. My Roga picked it out because it just barely hit my bulk pick threshold of 35 cents. Cloak of Mists is an Urza's block common that got reprinted in like the
Eighth.
No, I mean maybe, but like the global series China standard precons, that's the one that it picked is 35 cents. It's just like an enchant aura, enchanted creatures can't be blocked.
Yeah, we would have got mad at you. You're right.
Because, just the one art. This has 17 printings. Guess the one that
It has
worth
3,
money.
and the one is 35 cents, the rest are 20 cents.
That's
so I
the new
decided-
game.
Wasn't it in
is-
like Portal or something? Or was it just like
It was
Saga
a global series China
Okay.
deck.
Wow.
Listen, that's the new game. Guess how many printings of this card there are?
Well, I mean, yeah.
Ella Schnorr, Mother of Machines.
Oh, how many treatments? Oh, good
Yeah.
lord.
Like 16,
Name them all.
17.
I believe the answer is 8.
When you double it up for foils and you
But
add
the
on
card's
oil
been
slick,
out
it's
for what, 3 weeks?
17.
I'm sure there'll be more soon.
All right, Jason, what do you got?
Problems.
Fair enough.
Is a Breaking Bulk one of them?
Yeah. A bitch.
99 of them. Is it 99 problems? Because you're the EDH guy. Get it? Get it, Jason?
I got 99 printings, but a one for this card that was eventually in the Guilds of Ravnica guild kits. It is a green creature from the dark.
Also Deep Shadow.
I had to say the dark. I was trying not to like say it was from the dark, but I was like,
Yeah.
saying it was from the dual decks.
Saying Ravnica City of Guilds is the funniest possible.
Yeah.
Bearing of the
The
lead
Guilds
there.
of Ravnica guild kits, yeah.
Well, it was also in Ravnica City of Guilds.
Yeah, I guess I could have said Ravnica. Well, look, I mean, it's
You're supposed to do original printing. You
it's
did
a
it right.
it's a
You did the
warning
right
that
thing.
card's $1.50 and selling out at $1.50. And
That card sells so well for how bad it is.
That card's great.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Yeah. And something like Finhorn Elves is about the same price with one, like, I don't know, no one's buying the Ice Age printing of that, but like, it just feels like some of these cards, it doesn't matter how many times you print them.
Yes.
So,
Yep.
yeah, this is a bad card that
Card's great.
lots of people play, and it's, I don't know, it's
Financially.
it's barely cheaper than Deathrite Shaman at this point. It's unconscionable
Yeah.
to play this card, but whatever.
We had non-English Deathrite Shamans in like the $2 bin at the show this past weekend,
Good lord.
and it's just funny to see some cards in the bin.
Yeah, it is. It is sad.
Well,
Hey,
I can't believe Ignoble Hierarch. I was like, when it hits $5, scoop this up, and then it hit $5 and just kept going, and I was like, oh.
Putting privileged position. Speaking of Ravnica cards, putting privileged position in the bulk rare pile feels very interesting.
Oh, ouch.
Is that because of those Ravnica guild kits?
No, it's Double
also in
Masters.
Double
that
Masters.
Double Masters
Oh,
capped
Double
it.
Masters.
So it has a borderless printing and
Used to be $20.
All right,
Well, if it's $2 for the borderless one, then that's a buy for me. Shit.
Corbin suggested that the new game for the week was how many printings this card have, and I was hoping he was close. I have a new game for everyone. I came up with this a few weeks ago in a car ride, and I've been waiting to I've been cooking
Yep,
it.
this is our new segment, new game.
It is
Go ahead.
MTG Stocks Game 2, the sequel, Electric Boogaloo. That's the official name. So we've had quite a lot of discussion on this cast about how old we all are and how we're all graying and ancient, and how some picks are not what they used to be. This game, I have 3 cards that are not picks. They are no longer pickable. If you pick them out of bulk, you're misplaying. But they used to be in their prime, and you have to guess what they are. The actual segment name for this is probably like Back in My Day or something. But
Back in my day.
I have 3 cards
Get it.
from our era, our prime time. The first one is a Dark Ascension uncommon that is green.
Just green?
Yep.
What's that was Dark Ascension?
I was going to say Emerwolf, but
No, it's red green.
Emerald's also like still a pick. If the
Yeah.
card is still a pick, it is not something.
Moonmist or the other one?
That's
The
Innistrad.
Moonmist is common and it is Innistrad.
so it's a green
What's the set symbol for this set look like?
Strangleroot, guys?
I could not tell you what the set symbol is, but Corbin is
is
right.
it?
It is Strangleroot Geist.
Oh, Strangleroot Geist, yeah.
Still
Because that card's
kind.
better than ever.
But,
Yeah,
didn't
yeah.
they get like an FNM promo or something like that?
game
Like they
day
did a
top
weird
8.
thing with that.
The game day top 8, Jason, is
the game day top
$5. It looks
Yeah. That
was
pretty cool. But yeah, Strangleroot Geist is better than ever. It's just not really worth anything. They're just like 30 cents or so.
That's brutal.
The next one, I'm gonna go easy on you with the color because it's a multicolor Alara Reborn card, but I will tell you it is white. It is a white multicolor Alara Reborn common.
The Cascade spell, the white.
The
blue
Hinder one. The one that...
No,
counters-
and
Just
no.
mono white.
No, Alara Reborn's every multicolor card.
Oh right.
So
right.
like I can't just be like it's a multicolor card, but it is a white multicolor card from.
Is it the counter spell?
And it's not hindering light?
It is not
Yeah,
either
Hidden
of those
Light.
things.
Hindering light might choose.
This is a card that used to be a pick and is now just
Is it a creature or
Is
not?
it the
creature?
The
wall?
black-white
08?
one. The black-white one. The +1, -1.
not Wall of Denial. Corbin is 2 for his 2. It is Zealous
Ooh.
Persecution.
Zealous Persecution.
Used to be $1. That was my starting point back in
that's
college.
Dark Ascension. I couldn't picture the set symbol. That would have really helped me.
Yeah, I don't know how to describe the Dark Ascension.
I have a visual memory, which is terrible. It's terrible for trying to remember the name of cards.
But yeah,
That's where you have
There's Zealous Persecution. It used to be $1. I would trade like a play set of these for like a Dragon Skull Summit or something and sell that for $6.
But didn't they do multiple
They
black
had a,
white token decks? Like they did that $75.
They did an event deck.
and- yeah.
They also, I think, had a full art like players reward for Zealous Persecution, which was cool.
Yeah.
There was a full art in Double Masters or something, I think.
The point is the card is
that'd be
dead.
cool.
Don't pick it.
Maybe there's not a full art one.
Back in my day, it was worth something. It is not anymore. Let's see if Corbin can get the hat trick. I'll be very impressed if you get this one. We're going back further. This is a Shadowmoor red uncommon that is
Got
no
a
longer...
response.
No.
Shadowmoor red uncommon.
That's multicolor.
Is it?
Oh, it's just mono red. Okay. Jesus.
Wait, is it mono red or multicolor?
Mono red.
Oh,
Moon,
Jaws of Stone.
No.
So not Moonhold.
Oh, it's Moonhold. No,
This was
that
a card back in the day. Not anymore.
Hold up.
Oh,
It's a
wait. Is it the
mono-red
flame javelin?
Jason steals one. It is Flame
Oh,
Javelin.
nice. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's sweet.
Another.
I
I
was
almost said
say
flame
$1.
jab. That's a card too.
This game is based on a false principle. When you're picking bulk, you'd rather overpull than underpull, and so you're not misplaying by pulling these cards. You're just playing correct.
Yeah.
I liked this game.
Some of that stuff, I don't even shuffle it back into my bulk. I set it aside. If I thought it was pickable, I don't shuffle back in my bulk. I leave it out. So you should overpick, and you should,
You probably
if
should
it's
leave it
reasonable,
out,
keep
but
some of that stuff out.
There's
Well,
an
not out, but
argument
like
to
put
be
it in its own
made,
box.
Of being your local person that has everything. I can say that. That is sort of how I got my start in that. Somebody doesn't want to go to TCG Player to get their $5 set of uncommons. So if you're just the person that knows the cards that are played in the formats, pick the playable ones, even if they're not worth anything, and then you trade them out at your LGS for $5 for a play set, and that's how you turn your paperclip into a house kind of thing. And
we call that grind set, baby.
that is some very budget entry level just churning that you can, if you want, put the effort in.
That's what we
You
all
can
do.
see rewards from that. And the point of this podcast is to help you make your collection pay for itself.
I liked that.
Have
That
we
was a
ever
good
stated
game.
that was
a
the
good
point
game,
of this
DJ.
podcast?
Yes, we have.
I liked the that was just Boomer MTG Stocks Game.
Boomer MTG Stocks Game.
yeah, I
Okay.
never scrounged around in the dirt for bulk, so I'm bad at that one. Got to pad my ego somehow after losing horribly.
Listen, while we're out here making dollars, we're going to use those dollars by going to Coalesce Apparel and Design using the gift code Brainstorm Brewery and getting those dollars put to work to get some merch from your favorite Magic content creators, including, but not limited to, this podcast, but also a bunch of content creators besides us. And I've named the list before. You can go to Coalesce Apparel's website, check it all out. I promise you want to see it. And you use that gift code, you can support us as well.
Okay, so let's be real. You've already used a gift code when you ordered last week and bought something with Ristic Studies gift code. I get that. But you probably forgot something. And when you forget something, you use our gift code as
There was pre-order stuff that is just now in stock. So if you didn't pre-order an EDH Rec or Brainstorm Brewery hoodie, if you didn't pre-order it, now they're in stock because my stuff just shipped. So therefore, you can use our gift code when you buy something else, including, but not limited to, our new Brainstorm Brewery logo stickers.
we had the Boomer MTG Stocks Game, and now, after several failed starts that our editor has cut from the broadcast, it's time for the Zoomer MTG Stocks Game, where I ask the three of you about a particular cycle in Magic and see if you are able to name them in order of most expensive to least expensive.
Hey, JJ, put all those false starts in a supercut at the end of the episode.
Put them at 2x speed. Put yakety sax over it.
Neat. Awesome. This is why I have to come up with these games to get them. They sit here and troll me, and therefore I have to stump them. And that's why, in honor of our trip for New Phyrexia, we are going to ask you about some old Phyrexia. ironically from the new Phyrexia set. Now I can understand how that might be confusing, but look,
Is this new old Phyrexia or old new Phyrexia?
I think it's old new Phyrexia.
Okay.
Because these are like 10 years old. But
why'd they change it?
Can you name the Praetors in order from most to least expensive?
Elesh, Vorinclex.
You think Elish is
most? Elesh is the most expensive one.
More than
Elesh is definitely
Vorinclex?
more
All right.
Inclex than Vorinclex, yeah.
okay?
That
And then
that is
probably-
like somewhat of a recent development because Elesh Norn, the old one, spiked because of the new one, but it's Elesh, Vorinclex.
I'm almost positive
White,
the
green,
red
blue,
one's
black,
the
red,
cheapest.
right?
So
I'm
what's the order on blue
swapping-
black?
Jason. I'm swapping blue and black. I am at Shieldred is more expensive than Jingataxis, even
That
though I
makes
don't think that
sense.
should be the. I don't think that should be the case, but I think that is the case.
That makes
I
sense.
think
to me.
Jingataxis costs more because I think it has fewer printings.
All right, so were you all in agreement with Jason that the red one's the least expensive?
Yes,
Yeah.
that I love that card. I hate putting it
Yeah.
in the quarter bin every time at a show. Yes,
Ugh.
I'm very confident in this order.
Okay. So what did you have then as the second least
Vorinclex.
expensive?
Second least expensive or second most expensive?
Well, just give me your list.
I said
Like I
white,
should-
green, black, blue, red.
I said
I'll
white,
say-
green, blue, black, red.
That's what I said. Was white, green,
Okay.
blue, black, red.
Okay,
Yeah.
the correct answer, none of you got.
Okay.
Is Jingataxis like?
Is it
more-
green, white?
It's white, black, green, blue, red.
No.
Shieldred
Wow.
is a higher market price than Vorinclex.
Why did I think Shieldred had more printings?
She's a
Or
pre-release
was
printing.
cheaper than Whatever. Crazy. Cool. You got at me. This is a
You
cool
were
game.
right though. To just full disclosure, LS Norm market price $39.75, Shieldred $16.95, Vorinclex $15.58, Jin $10.34, and Urabrask very disappointing $3.30.
Yeah, but Urbrask got to go to New Capenna.
Can I call a judge on this one and argue that the pre-release promo of Shieldred should be a valid consideration?
No.
Nope.
Is that what I was thinking? There was a pre-release promo of
There,
Shieldred.
yeah, there is. Yeah,
There
that's
is,
what I said.
yes.
That's why I was thinking there were more printings. That's why I thought it was cheaper.
The pre-release one is $12, but that's wasn't the question, was it?
No,
Was
but
it-
like
was
those
it-
copies existing would dilute the
Yeah.
pool of total Shieldreds, is what I'm saying.
And yeah, oh for sure, I understand.
Yeah.
Especially like there's a secret layer of a Phyrexian Shieldred, seems way better with the legendary frame as well.
Yeah.
That said, Shieldred's barely even playable in Commander.
The old one?
I don't think it's very good.
Costs so much mana in 2023.
Yeah, it's too
Making
bad.
them sack one token every turn is.
I missed the
whatever.
Battle Cruiser days where that was legit.
It used to be one of my favorite top end cards in decks, and it's just not any good.
You know what's
You know.
crazy? A card like Endrick Sar went from just like, I can't believe how good this card is to like just completely unplayable. It never got that window of like, this card is doing
Perfect.
something.
Mid.
Yeah.
It's like the format completely skipped some cards I thought were going to be like the next thing. It was really weird. It got arms racy fast. I blame EDH
I also blame EDH Shrek.
I also blame you, Jason.
Yep.
Just so we're all clear on where the blame is being directed.
Everyone's like, no, not the site, the articles. The articles are what did it. And I'm like, shit.
I just thought you should feel like I want you to personally feel blamed. Because that way, you know you accomplished something.
I'm just
Actually-
I'm just proud to be acknowledged as EDH Rec because every time someone's like, guess what the content manager of EDH Rec did, everybody's on Joey Schultz for a whole day. So
I actually revised my statement. I blame the commodification of personality as a good to be consumed in order to sell other goods. I don't like that. And that's the problem.
Yeah.
You're the problem, Jason.
You're the problem. It's you. All right, before we get to pick of the week, we want to let DJ give an update. There's a lot of product out there, and there's a lot of news out there, and we can only cover so much of it. So DJ's got a couple of notes we wanted to share with the audience before.
So, for those who were paying attention, the Phyrexia complete bundles were a pretty good pickup at $80. You could find them on some big box websites or at your local Target or Walmart. It's $80. It comes with some very cool oil slick cards that I am mad that they won't be able to scan through the Roka. But
Such a hater.
What?
They're cool.
Wizards need to stop making cards that are bad with image recognition, or at least make them less frequently. But so if you had an opportunity to pick up that product, congratulations. But I would not go chasing it now, and I would definitely get out of any oil slick cards that you have, because there's a pretty quick race to the bottom on stuff like this. When something very cool comes out and it just becomes available to the mass market, the price equilibrium tends to fight itself sooner rather than later, so you don't really have like an I'll list those next week kind of thing. So if you're listening to this cast early, you should take advantage of that and spend 10 to 15 minutes to list your oil slick cards at a price you think they'll move at. You might be able to get a good direct premium on those. I don't know. Direct tends to be weird with stuff like that. I don't know how often TCG Player gets it in. Their
Rokas can't sort it either.
Well, there's that, and like they were late on the heads I win, tails you lose deck as well. So I tended to price very highly and wait for direct to get those in so that I could list them through direct. Just something to note is the complete bundles. I also think that they're very... It's a once in a blue moon kind of thing with that sort of sealed product. If I would not go chasing every new thing that Wizards comes out with that is just some variant foil or some bundle pack, like the Throne of Eldraine bonus box or whatever they called. Like, that was very bad.
If everything is special, then nothing is special.
Correct, and that's been exemplified very, very broadly over the past few years since Throne of Eldraine.
But they figured it out. And then WotC had them, or Hasbro had them go the other way, because they were like, "Oh, we did the masterpieces too much. You guys are sick of it. It doesn't feel special anymore. We're going to scale that way back." And then Hasbro's like, "Actually, everything is masterpieces now." So
everything, but to be fair, y'all, everything is really cool.
Is it?
I guess, but you don't have time to enjoy it. I still haven't fully digested Neon Dynasty.
Collectability in Magic is a big topic, and there are ways to... You, of course, can never please anybody. Anytime somebody says cards are too expensive, I say, what's too expensive? Because I have plenty of conversations where somebody's like, oh, every fetch land should be $1. What does that mean?
I really love the P. Sully tweet where it's like, this is outrageous. The $600 piece of cardboard I want should not be this expensive. $400 is far more reasonable.
Yeah. We're all playing a luxury card game that is based on artificial scarcity, and that has been priced into the model from the beginning. But on the topic of collectability, I'd say one of my biggest complaints is making old chase cards undesirable is very, very bad for the game. Like, one of the best examples of this is with Dominaria Remastered, where they just effectively obsolete a lot of very cool old foils like No Mercy, like 7th edition Wrath of God, like Defense Grid. These are all just like completely unbuyable cards now at events. And I still get people bringing these cards up to me using data points from TCG Player or something like that, like eBay, and it's like, oh yeah, look, that somebody has this listed for $400, and like there's no reason to buy it. Nobody is going to shell out for the Urza's Legacy one when there is a retro foil that looks identical from Dominaria Remastered. I am not saying that Wizards should just keep the regular version of No Mercy at $300 or whatever, but like, they should incentivize collecting at different scales. Borderless foil No Mercy looks cool. It can be 12 or 15, that's fine. But it's good for Magic to have $5 cards that have $10 versions, then that have $300 versions, and make sure each of those versions don't interact with each other, really.
I agree with all of that.
Yeah.
That was a pretty far from the original point, which is just like a little news bulletin that oil slick cards exist, and we could have talked about that 3 weeks ago, but that's fine.
But those bundles were like, they're 80. No, they're 210. No, they're 80 at Walmart, but 210 on TCG Player.
There was a lot of...
The whole thing was exhausting.
Yeah, there was a lot of rapid fluctuation on those, and that's one of the reasons I tend to avoid them. I think Oath of the Gatewatch Fat Packs are another fun example from like 7 years ago, where a lot of people just stockpiled Oath of the Gatewatch Fat Pack specifically because they were the first product to just have full art lands en masse. You could get like 50 full art lands per box, and this is back when full art lands were $1, so everyone thought it was a free roll. and a lot of people lost a lot of money. So I tend to stay away from those things as just a personal rule because
Yeah.
my stance on Magic finance is known at this point. I'm a big fan of churning collections and not just like buying a sealed product and crossing your fingers. Like if you're smart enough to just target that product, you probably don't need my advice on like, oh,
Yeah.
Warhammer decks, yes, complete bundle decks, yes, other stuff, no. Sure, if you're good enough at that, you have a system that works for you.
On the note of both of the Gatewatch time period, we did have the fun experience though where the market inverted and the half art land were the most valuable. I don't remember if it was for that set or if it was
Zendikar.
It was
I
the
thought.
wastes. Also.
They are
See, I was thinking of the waste specifically.
It's the wastes and the half art Zendikar lands that were in the intro
Yes.
decks. Because the intro decks were the only product that did not have full art lands.
Yeah, very
Yeah.
fun note with those wastes.
I pulled those lands forever, but like I could never find anyone buying them.
I still got a big box, and they do occasionally. I have enough of them now, and I mean, it's not like my full art land collection basically dies about 3-4 years ago when they started doing a ton of them. But before that, at least through Amonkhet and maybe even Theros, I was like, I want to have a huge stock of all the land. So I have a 5-row just full of full arts, and I mean, it's nice that I can have enough on whatever set of my own to put in a commander deck. But yeah, it's no longer the everyone's $1. This is a $5,000 box plan that it might have been 10 years ago. Started. No, I just have a bunch of lands. That said, if you do have local people who want to buy full art lands but don't want to get on TCG Player, you can get people handing you just cash or trade value at good marks on if you're the person who has the 10 basics they need. Just kind of depending on the situation with opportunity. But yeah, all right. Let's move on to final segment.
You didn't
this
say
week.
anything controversial.
I understand. That's fine.
I wasn't able to chime in. So
We've established that I take your silence on this podcast as encouragement. And that brings us to Pick of the Week, where I know I'm right about this card.
Pick of the week, pick of the week, pick of the week. Time for the pick of the week.
All right, let's wrap things up with Pick of the Week. I have a card that I recently discovered that I think you all might not be aware of, but I'm very confident is going to be a great pick for the week. And that card is from Streets of New Capenna Commander. It's a 3-mana green card. Jason, do you happen to have any idea what this might be? This isn't
I know the art,
breaking
but it's the lizard guy. He's like a lizard wearing a shirt. I don't know, man. I don't know card names. I can
fair enough.
the art.
It's the card is Park Heights Maverick.
Yeah, the guy wearing a shirt. Exactly.
There is a guy, and he does appear to be wearing a shirt. I'll give you
Told
that.
ya.
It's a 2/2 human soldier for 3. Has Dethrone. It can't be blocked by creatures with power 2 or less. Importantly, when it deals combat damage to a player or dies, proliferate. So as we're seeing lots of toxic.
This is not the card I was
poison and
thinking of.
Proliferate. Yeah, this card is 50 cents. However, when I first put it on my list to start watching a couple weeks ago, it was 20 cents, and it's continued to climb since then. So I like what this graph looks like a lot, and a Proliferate has been an extremely popular mechanic. I don't know, I guess, what March of the Machines will have, but it seems likely that Proliferate or Toxic or something will have some crossover with that set. Or at the very least, we're going to see Proliferate continue to be popular. So yeah, Park Heights Mavericks rare from Streets of New Capenna Commander.
The borderless version is also a bulk rare.
All right, Cass, we'll let you hop in next. What are you looking at this week?
My pick of the week is Eladamri's Call. The card was last printed in Modern Horizons 2, which is, or maybe it was Modern Horizons 1. It's one of the two. Card is starting to see an uptick in play in Modern in both Devoted Druid decks and also the 4-color mid-range, utility decks with Elesh Norn. Cards like $6, $8. There is a direct premium and thinning direct supply, so I'm pretty happy picking up this card. Moving forward.
Love it.
Yeah, it's a classic card in all of those decks for sure.
Well, we all doing. I'm going to do a green card too.
I am not doing a green card. Oh, yeah,
Oh, well, too bad. Conduit of Worlds is under $2.
Oh wow,
Love
Seemed
that card.
correct to me.
I didn't realize it was that cheap.
That's going to be more than $2 later.
I don't know about this one.
Why not?
From Beyond is one more mana than Awakening Zone.
Nah. This is Crucible World.
This is Crucible.
Ramanop
Plus.
Excavator hit like $4.
I mean, the card's already like at $1.50 on buy list, right?
Yeah, this is like under $2 on TCG Player and it's $4 on Card Kingdom. It's like a no-brainer to buy these under 2.
CK pays
I gotta
$1.50
agree.
on this card, and TCG low is $1.47.
Okay.
I like
mean,
that you're willing to speak out here, DJ, but I think that people will take as many Crucible Worlds as they can get.
I think there's a lot of supply, is all I'm saying.
I'm sure there's a lot of supply, but that really can't be helped.
Yeah, I think it'll help, but we'll see. All right, DJ, I heard you had a green card as well. What do you?
No, I said I don't.
I feel
is
like
it
we are
don't?
6
You
months
should've.
away from Wizards just dumping a load of product in the desert like they're Funko Pops. Or old ET cartridges. Like, it's just too much. Like, a new card. Can a new card ever be worth more than like $8?
Yes.
It's just, it's turned into Flesh and Blood where like you get that chase card in the box or everything's trash.
I don't
Like,
think
every
that's
booster
true.
pack turns into 15 cents. It's
There is a lot.
brutal.
There is more of that.
Isn't-
More of that variance than there used to be.
Isn't Obi-Wan the best set in that regard? Like in not doing that in recent memory
Yeah,
too. Like it
all
has
the-
a bunch of like $8 rares and like all the mythics are $10.
All the mythics in this set are very good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that was 2 sets ago.
I guess that's
Uh,
fair.
My card has synergy with one of the mythics in Phyrexia. Goryo's Vengeance brings back Atraxa. And
Oh,
Goryo's
yeah.
Vengeance itself has spiked from 3 to 6 or so. I still think that's fine if you just need your playset for whatever format you're playing it in. You just buy them playset for $24 to $30 and you'll be happy.
I remember this went from like $1 to 20 when Jerry T cracked it in Legacy.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's sweet.
Always been a very cool card. It still just has those 2 printings. Betrayers and Ultimate Masters are the only 2 printings for this card. The box topper specifically has not jumped at all. So it was a $3 regular one and $17, $18 box topper. The regular one has jumped to $6. The box topper has just not jumped at all. So I think if you're getting these, just like get your foil playset for yourself or your box topper playset, or just a playset of the normal version are probably fine too.
Box toppers are cool.
I want to throw out an addendum to this, in that Footsteps of the Goryo from Saviors of Kamigawa has 1 printing, is under
Yeah.
$3, and has not spiked at all. And that card gets back Atraxa and gets you the ETB. Very similarly.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah, and that
Footsteps
card,
makes it stick around, whereas
Footsteps, you sack it into turn.
yeah, you sack it rather than exiling it like you do.
Well,
with,
and Footsteps is
Goryo's
also
Vengeance.
a great pick because we've talked about the second spike a lot. And
Yeah.
that card first spiked a couple years ago. I guess it really first spiked in like 2016. But the point is, it's gone through a couple iterations in Modern, so we know it has sort of a pedigree of playability. So if it spikes, like, and it is starting to move as well, it's probably going to spike very hard.
They're not making fewer legendary creatures next year.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
It's a good pick.
All right. Well, there you go, everybody. There is plenty of good picks to choose from this week. Thank you, everybody. I think this was good work. I know everyone was a little tired.
Who are you
from the
trying to
weekend
convince?
And trying to hang in there, but we did it myself. Okay. Hey, everybody. Thank you for listening to the podcast. If you want to support us, we would appreciate it at patreon.com/BSB, or you can find us on YouTube. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next week.